Hi, good people. So, the support for One Nation, why it's happening is very easy if you are actually in a situation where you can feel that you are worse off than you were, say, 2 years ago, or 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or 20 years ago. For a very long time, the Liberal and Labor parties and their affiliates, like the Greens Party, which is the radical left-wing lunatic arm of the Labor Party to court your radical lunatics. That's why you see them marching for Hamas now in the streets. But for a very long time, the Uni Party, the Liberal and Labor Party, have been focused on the sustenance and maintenance of their Uni Party system only, not in the overall welfare and economic prosperity of Australian citizens. I mean, it's quite easy to see. They've relied on focus groups for policy rather than having their heads in the street, their ears on the street, or knowing their constituents. The focus groups are usually made up of people who are within their political parties. So Susan Ley will listen to a Liberal Party focus group, and Albanese will listen to a Labor Party focus group. They're not going to listen to everyone, and those focus groups only tell them what they want to hear. They're not interested in doing anything more because they want to keep the money flowing. In the last quarter of a century, the Uni Party have committed treason against Australians. By increasing the population from 20 million, they've increased it almost 50% in 25 years. The population of our nation has increased by almost 50%. That is treason. Now it's at the point where our culture is being questioned. Our liberal, democratic, pluralistic, it's okay to be gay society is being questioned. We now have groups in Australia who protest on the street, who are calling for violence 10,000 miles away. And more homeless Australians than ever before. This is a smokescreen. This evil was imported over the last quarter of a century to deflect us from how Australia has stopped being a manufacturing nation and now really just relies on asset value inflation to make us look like a first world nation, when Australians are getting poorer and poorer, more taxes and more taxes, and more government spending and more government spending. All One Nation is saying is, this isn't what our nation is supposed to be. We need to work our way back now. In order to progress, we need to go backwards. We need to work backwards. And this does not mean that progress will not happen. Of course it will. What it means is that we've had seditious, insurgent elements come into our nation in the last quarter of a century that are causing great harm and disruption to us. We've also had a government that has not challenged the policies of migration and also foreign ownership. They've allowed it to happen, and they've created deflection strategies so that we don't look at what they're doing. We look at the craziness that is happening out there. The only way now is to truly go back to being Australian and make Australia great again. And when you think of the Liberal and Labor Party, I don't really see them being make Australia great again. I see them as keep sustaining and maintaining the Liberal and Labor order in Australia. I think it expired. I think your due date has expired, and we've got to move on. So here's what I want everyone to do. Go to the closest One Nation office or their website and write down your policies, your ideas for the future. Write down what you want to see happen. Then work with other people and coordinate to come up with what policies as a group you think are good. Then also go through the laws and legislation that has been passed and highlight those that we just don't need. It's too much. This will put the pressure on One Nation to stay with the people, not to start believing it's a monolithic political party and can go off and do its own things to maintain and sustain itself. One Nation has to be maintained by the people and sustained by the people. Unlike what the Liberal and Labor parties, Unity Party, have done. So start working on it. Here's the Facebook group. Go there and start talking. We need a change in this country. We need to get back to Australian core values. We need to get down to a sustainable population. That means deportations. That means no more ISIS brides being returned. We have to get back to Australian values. Make Australia great again. We have to get manufacturing back. We have to get things working for the average Australian now, not just a property investor. And I think the only option is One Nation at the moment. And I think the national parties, if they break away from the Liberal Party and join One Nation in a new coalition. All right, good people. Have a fantastic day. I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.